What's up, YouTube? This is James coming back at you with another informative video. I hope you guys are doing well out there on this raining Wednesday. I'm doing pretty good myself. I come across this particular situation that's taking place in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, about the so-called infamous Brave Cave. You understand? Some of you may have already heard about it, where you have rogue police officers that's actually taking people to this cave and basically violating them, beat them up, and all kinds of stuff. There's all kinds of stories out about this so-called Brave Cave, and ultimately, the FBI is going to investigate the allegations that is happening, was alleged to have happened at this particular so-called Brave Cave. So what I want us to do is sit back and check out at least 3 videos. You understand? And then when we do that, we'll finish the commentary.
The police department in Baton Rouge, Louisiana is under scrutiny because of lawsuits that claim officers tortured detainees in an off-site warehouse. NBC News Now correspondent Stephen Romo has more on the disturbing allegations.
Shocking allegations about an unmarked police facility in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, coming to light in a new federal lawsuit.
Detainees are essentially kidnapped, taken, interrogated, frequently beaten, and strip searched.
Now, one of the officers involved, Troy Lawrence Jr., has resigned and is charged with small battery in connection to a different incident. Local leaders disturbed by the revelations.
I made the immediate decision to permanently close the facility.
47-year-old Ternell Brown is suing the Baton Rouge Police Department, saying she endured sexual humiliation while in custody in June. Brown says in the complaint she was stopped while carrying 2 types of her own prescription pills and taken to an off-site warehouse referred to as the Brave Cave by the Baton Rouge Area Violence Elimination Unit, or Brave Team. There, she says she underwent an invasive 2-hour strip search with a flashlight and was released with no charges.
That facility has been around 19 years. Facility is called the Narcotics Processing Center.
Were you aware that it was used for strip searches?
No, the strip search, I was not aware of that.
It's not just the existence of this facility that's under scrutiny. The department's broad stop and strip policy is also being questioned. It allows officers to strip search civilians without arresting them.
Do you think that might need to change the strip search policy?
Absolutely.
The chief says the department policy is reviewed yearly, but the strip search policy hasn't been revised since 2016, and that's despite a complaint 3 years ago.
What I'm getting arrested for?
You being detained.
How? For what?
Because I said so.
But you ain't tell me
I ain't gotta tell you why. I don't have.
Last month, BRPD hit with yet another lawsuit. This time, 22-year-old Jeremy Lee says he was beaten at the off-site facility and left with a fractured rib, among other injuries. According to the Baton Rouge police chief, it was Lee's complaint to the department in July that led him to disband the Brave unit. Lawrence Jr., a member of the unit and an officer named in both lawsuits, was involved in at least 4 other lawsuits alleging assault that have either been dismissed or settled. The police department is conducting its own internal affairs and criminal investigations, as well as asking the FBI to get involved.
Do you know of any other cases that could be in the works regarding the Brave Cave?
We do. There will be more.
Stephen Romo, NBC News.
Police officer resigns after a lawsuit publicly reveals the existence of a controversial warehouse called the Brave Cave. A man claims he was taken there and beaten earlier this year without proper surveillance to capture it.
In a news conference, the Baton Rouge police chief confirms some details, but says he's just learning about others. Fox 44's Jacqueline Kissick is live in studio. Jacqueline, administrators say the first step in moving past this is getting an officer with a checkered past off the streets.
Well, answer, Christina, yes, that is right. A federal lawsuit reveals Officer Troy Lawrence Jr. has had a serious complaints in the past, but Tuesday's bombshell is the tipping point. Documents revealed in early January, officers, including Lawrence, showed up to a home on Cadillac Street looking for guns and drugs. They wound up in a struggle with a man named Jeremy Lee and later took him into a warehouse for questioning. A lawsuit calls this building the Brave Cave and claims Lee received beating that went over the line.
They separated him from other people who he had been arrested with, and they proceeded to beat the out of him.
Thomas Frampton is an attorney representing Jeremy Lee, a Baton Rouge man who says police took him to a previously unknown warehouse and beat him after an early January arrest. A lawsuit calls the building the Brave Cave.
Instead of releasing him, they took him to this place that they call the Brave Cave.
Frampton says the arresting officer was Troy Lawrence Jr.
But when Troy Lawrence Jr. took him over to East Baton Rouge Parish Prison, the local jail refused to accept him and actually forced the officers to take him to the hospital.
In a statement, Mayor President Sharon Weston Broome says he submitted a resignation letter several days ago. Tuesday, Chief Murphy Paul says he signed it.
We will investigate this just like we investigate all other complaints.
Paul says he just learned about the Brave Cave. In a short time, facts are becoming clearer.
I would like to assure this community there is nothing secretive about this narcotics processing facility.
The department says the facility has been in operation for their narcotics and street crimes officers for more than 20 years, within the past 6 months taking in over 300 suspects for questioning. Paul says those officers have had a history of controversy, and the buildings needed camera upgrades.
Based on that audit, we made sure that camera system there covered all points of interest in that facility.
Mayor President Sharon Weston Broome releasing a statement saying to suspend all operations at this facility. Paul says an investigation continues into the so-called Brave Cave, and Frampton says Lawrence Jr. being off the streets is a good thing.
Who I'm convinced is going to kill or maim somebody if he's allowed to continue having a badge and a gun.
Paul says he's now toured the Brave Cave warehouse, and the department plans to install more cameras and a proper interview room. Again, under the mayor's direction, the facility is temporarily ceasing operation. Now reporting live in studio, I'm Jacqueline Kissick, Fox 44 News. All right.
The FBI is now investigating a Baton Rouge police interrogation center known as the Brave Cave and new allegations of abuse. News 2's Alexis Maroney asked Police Chief Murphy Paul about the latest accusations.
Michael, the lawsuit claims BRPD strip searches were sexually humiliating for people taken to the Brave Cave. Now investigators are reviewing officers' actions and their use of the facility.
Somebody lying, because we're finding out that people are being stripped and beat up in this facility, and telling me you shut it down ain't enough. If people broke the law in here, they need to do something about it.
Accusations continue to come in. Last month, BRPD suspended its street crimes unit, shutting down a facility known as the Brave Cave.
Met with the FBI in late August when I learned the initial stages of these complaints, and to make sure that we have federal oversight and that our federal partners are looking into these allegations.
Still, community members want more done.
The mayor shutting it down is not enough. Troy Lawrence Jr. and every officer who has been involved with the illegal strip searching and beating of people in this community should be arrested.
Monday, attorneys filing a new lawsuit said BRPD took their client, Turnell Brown, to the warehouse. Police found prescription medications and a gun in her car during a traffic stop.
At that point, she was then handcuffed, taken to what is now, we can see here, is the Brave Cave. What happened there is unconscionable. She was then strip searched. There was also a visual body cavity search that was performed upon her.
Chief Murphy Paul says he's received 5 complaints about abuse at the unsanctioned warehouse.
And we're listening to the complaint, the press conference that went out today, and some of the allegations that were made. We're listening to that too, and see how we can make sure that our policies are best practices in our Constitution.
After investigations began with Baton Rouge police officer Troy Lawrence Jr., who is accused of beating a man at the warehouse, resigned.
What makes the community not trust the police department? It is what has fractured the relationships of law enforcement and police in this community.
I understand everybody wants us to get it right, but sometimes investigations take a little time, and we got to get it right. And sometimes I can't give it to you right now, but I assure you that there will be a thorough investigation.
And Chief Murphy Paul asks the public if you have any information or tips about what happened at the facility to report them to the Internal Affairs on the online complaint form.
Troy Lawrence Jr. needs to go to jail. If these allegations are true about Troy Lawrence Jr., he needs to be locked up. You understand? Along with the rest of his cohorts, because I know he wasn't the only one. It's just that he's the only one that's out on forefront. You see what I'm saying? You know, what are we to do as a society when our own police act like criminals themselves? When they not act like criminals, just say they are criminals for these ones that engage in things like this. You see what I'm saying? Basically snatching people up off of the streets, taking them into a facility, sexually assaulting, you know what I mean, abusing, and what have you. Is it safe to say at this particular point that for some people that has just come up missing, that they could have been took to a facility like this, and where I'm hypothetically speaking at this point, the police went overboard and actually killed these people? It's safe to say. And these people never, seen again. You understand? Simply because you got rogue police officers, you understand, out here engaging in criminal mischief like this. Yeah, you understand? They need to be put off of the streets. At this point, I would say it's time for us, to police ourselves. Because hell, we ain't got nobody to do policing properly. There's just not, For those so few officers that's out there that's trying to do the right thing, it's just not enough. And especially when they know themselves that they are bumping shoulders with rogue police officers that's out here engaging in criminal mischief like this. And that's just what it boils down to. You understand? See, I'll be willing to bet there are more people that's going to come out of the woodwork and say that they was taken to this facility right here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, the so-called Brave Cave. It was really the Coward Cave. You understand? And abused. Not only that, this right here is probably just the tip of the iceberg. There's no telling how many facilities all over America, just like this, in different states and cities, that have these so-called caves right here where people are taken and abused. You understand what I'm saying? This is law enforcement right here. It's not a good look. Something needs to be done. I want you guys to tell me what you think about this particular video right here. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts and views on it in the comment section. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And people, please remember to live your life as though we are being watched, simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.